Leaders of the Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, and their Trade Union Congress of Nigeria, TUC, counterparts notifies the civil society allies on their planned industrial action should the government fail to reverse the hike in electricity tariff and conclude the minimum wage by May 31. In a joint communique issued on Monday, leaders of the two labor centers gave the federal government and National Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC, month ending to reverse the hike. This came as they reiterated their May 31 ultimatum for government to conclude the new minimum wage or face a national strike. Let's get to hear your thoughts on this story, Dr. Patience.
The new minimum wage.
Yes.
I know that.
615,000 proposed by the labor.
Yeah. Now the value of our money has so gone down. What? 615 naira to pay to a worker. 15,000 naira to pay to a worker for 1 month. It's nothing, compared to the money they steal and carry out. Okay, all the money they said their EFCC is recovering. They are recovering this. They are recovering this. Where is the money now? What do they do with it? And they keep borrowing. So that 615 naira is nothing compared to what we have in Nigeria. It's just that because of the corruption, and then they are talking about 48,000 naira. No, now that's why I always said they don't have us in mind.
Considering the current economic situation in Nigeria, do you think that is something that the country can afford?
It can afford it. Yes, because when they begin to pay that 615,000 naira to a worker, they will not have opportunity of stealing and going to hide our money again. Yes, they will not have the opportunity of embezzling our money, going for medical treatment. They will have to bring their eyes down.
That is going to be the minimum wage. It means the least. So now other workers will be paid more than that, and you actually feel like Nigeria can afford all of that.
Even if Nigeria can even pay 1 million naira to a worker, because overseas they pay social workers, like us they call us senior citizens, is it not? They are supposed to be paying us money every month. Over there, when a child is born, we don't even have a good data in Nigeria. I lost my daughter's birth certificate that I had her in 1985 in London. Because there is a data, I just wrote to them. They sent me another certificate because my signature, everything is still the same. Now we don't have a data in Nigeria. And we have those who don't even go to work. Ghost names are everywhere. And then, that's why when they talk about this amount to pay, it's as if, because there are ghost names that people share in their office. They share it. And so they think it's a big thing.
There are ghost workers in the civil service?
Yes, there are ghost workers in the civil service. Oh, you don't know?
Tell us.
There are ghost workers.
All right, let's get to hear from Dr. John. How do you feel about, or what do you think about the 615,000 naira proposed by Labour?
For me, the amount of money is not what should bring problems. In collective bargaining, now we have a situation where since 2019, this 30,000, was it 2019 or some years back, we agreed on 30,000 naira as a minimum wage. Now, because of executive high-handedness and corruption, there are still some states that have not been able to pay the 30,000 naira. The average amount of money received by an average worker in Nigeria is not a living wage. It is take-home pay that cannot take him home. Now, look at the inflation rate. The inflation rate has burst the ceiling. What I expect government to do is to go into negotiation with labor.
Which is what they are already
doing. Even if, labor, that 615,000 minimum wage is a proposal. It is an industrial action.
8,000 is also a proposal.
It's also a proposal, and that is why they should go into extensive negotiation, bearing in mind the exchange rate of the naira per the dollar, and other variables like inflation, school fees.
Transportation.
This government has come to introduce so many terrible things. Since the government came in, it has been taxed from one tax to one levy from one tax to one levy without consideration for the well-being of the people. Why is it like that? Now, concerning the minimum wage, some people may think if you calculate it, that 615,000 naira may not be up to $600. Yes, it may not be up to. If the exchange rate of naira per dollar is say 1,400, do the math and see. It's not up to $600.
It's not.
Which ordinarily is not a living wage. Yes. I want the federal government, apart from negotiating with labor, I want the federal government to fix manufacturing in Nigeria. Revive the companies that are ailing or completely moribund. By the time you fix all this, there will be job. You see, we have been consuming too much. We don't export. How do you improve an economy?
We don't export as much as we consume.
We don't export. Yes, I say we don't export because our export, apart from crude oil, our export amounts to nothing as part of, as a component of the foreign exchange. Apart from crude oil, nothing is happening again. Meanwhile, Nigeria is rich in solid mineral resources. We are rich in cash crops, cocoa, all these things are there. We are capable of producing the food we can eat. But today, look at it. There's hunger in the land. Not because
we produce the food that we eat.
Not because we cannot produce the food, but because loans given to farmers are diverted and given to politicians.
Yes.
Air-conditioned politicians. People sitting in air-conditioned offices. So even before we revisit and continue to negotiate on the new minimum wage, let us bear in mind that increasing our wages to even 800,000 and so on is an interim measure.
And then the electricity hike that was also mentioned.
It's an interim measure because it is not a long-term measure. The long-term measures are what government should be looking at. Number one, look at agriculture. Agriculture can employ so many people. Look at, if you go to Kano, the textile industries. In Benin, there's a place they call Textile Road. I'm told that in those days, that was the hub of textile industry. All these industries are gone. Now, consider the inflation. If a dollar exchange for 140 naira, 1,400 naira, it means the 615,000 labor is talking about is grossly inadequate.
Yes.
In the advanced countries, people work. Some are paid $20 per hour.
Yes.
Some are paid $40 per hour. Those in data, all this data entry, data analytical jobs, they haven't paid more than 60,000.
Let's come back to the state of Nigeria's economy. You keep talking about other countries. You keep mentioning nations.
Yes, I have.
Back to the Nigeria, a developing nation, and back to our present economic situation.
Yes, our present economic situation did not come from heaven. It is caused by human beings. And they started destroying this nation some 10, 15 years ago, siphoning our oil money. Take a look at the refineries. I wanted to even talk about that before you switch over to Madam, concerning the oil theft issue. If our refineries were working, how many years ago did we build a refinery? Now, even the Port Harcourt refineries, they said they will work. They will work in 2001. Later, they shifted the goalpost to 2002. That was 2010. Now they are still talking of the refineries working. We are in we are in May 2024. How else can our leaders play on the intelligence or play with the sensibilities of the citizens? They are joking. Nigeria has become a theater of the absurd. That was my opening statement.
That was your opening statement.
Yes, theater of the absurd.